in the days of the wise men. And there was one man named Diogenes. This Diogenes. Maybe you've heard of him. Diogenes. He was a very rich man. He had many, many things, but he wondered, does my money make me happy? What do you think? What is necessary to be happy?
Love.
Love?
Love, hope.
Hope?
Hope.
Okay.
Yes, hope.
Those are good answers. But he could see people who had lots of love, who loved somebody and who loved them back, but they were not happy. He could see people who had hope, but they were still afraid. And so he began to think and to wonder, what is necessary to be happy? He asked himself this question, and after thinking for a long time, he finally decided that the answer was not a lot, not much. And to prove it, he said, it is possible to be happy with no money. It is possible to be happy with no family, with nothing. I will prove it. And so he gave away everything he had. His house, his slaves, his money, even his clothes, everything. And he went to live on the street completely naked. And he said, I'm happy. I have enough. And everybody saw him and they said, he's crazy. And he said, yes. Of course he was crazy, but he was also happy. And people started following him and asking him questions and speaking to him about this. And they began to realize that he was a wise man. He lived in a barrel, and he would roll the barrel around the city and sleep in the barrel. He would make fun of authority. He would make fun of rich people because he would say, power is worth nothing. Your money is worthless. I don't need that. You have all that, but you are not happy. And so people started to follow him, and he gained a reputation as either a very wise man or a completely crazy man. In those days, there was an emperor, the emperor, Alexander the Great. And he conquered all the cities around. And in each city, he would try to learn different things from the people that lived there. And when he conquered the city of Corinth in Greece, which is where Diogenes lived, Alexander the Great wanted to meet Diogenes. And all the philosophers and all the noblemen of the city of Corinth came out to greet Alexander. Welcome to our city. But Diogenes wasn't there. So Alexander the Great said, I will find him. And he went with all his soldiers, with his cooks, with his servants, with his wives, with his bodyguard, looking all around the city to find Diogenes. When finally they found him at the edge of the city, sitting against his barrel, completely naked, with a smile from ear to ear, eyes closed, taking the sun. And the king came and stood in front of him and said, Diogenes, I have heard that you are a wise man. I am Alexander the Great. I want to learn from you. And in exchange, I will give you anything you ask for. I am the emperor of all the earth. What do you want? I will give you anything you ask for. when the people who were following the king heard this, they were like, anything, anything. Oh, wow, I wish the king would say that to me. What is Diogenes going to ask for? Now, Diogenes, he was a wise man, but he was still a man. And this offer, anything you want from the king. He could be rich, he could be famous, he could be powerful, he could have whatever. Diogenes opened one eye, looked at the king, said, anything I want? Yes, anything you want. Yeah, there's something I want. Get out of my way, you're blocking the sun. And everybody, when they heard that, they started to laugh and to insult Diogenes. You're stupid! How can you ask for that? You could have had anything. But Alexander the Great said, shush. You can say whatever you want. But if I were not Alexander, I would want to be Diogenes. And the emperor went home that night to his luxurious tent with gold and delicious foods and beautiful women. And he had everything. And he wondered why he felt so poor.